Thank you, ICA. Special thanks to Henry and Prita and the others that were instrumental in inviting me to come and speak today. Make ruby and sapphire part of the diamond dream. We're going to talk about the diamond dream today. We're going to talk about how man-made diamonds are stealing the diamond dream from natural diamond industry. And we're going to talk about how you can make ruby and sapphire part of that diamond dream. But in order to do that, I'm going to have these chairs removed. If we can maybe move these chairs because my slides are going to get in the way. Let me start by saying that I was here in 1987 at the ICA Congress, the second real Congress that ICA put on here in Bangkok, at this very same hotel. And I spoke on three things: romancing the stone, I spoke on education, I spoke on consumer confidence. And I thought we were going to make a big hit because GIA had just come out with a Colorstone grading course, and I talked a lot about Colorstone grading, and I had some tomatoes thrown at me because the industry was not ready to hear anything about Colorstone grading because they were fearful of what happened to the diamond industry with grading and so forth. And I understand that, but fast forward 32 years now, we haven't made a whole lot of progress. There's no universal system. GIA does a great job in educating people on color. Menachem Sevdermich has done a great job in creating Gemmy Wizard, but there's no sophisticated, well-adopted system. And so we're still stuck with ruby and sapphire origin reports that are often conflicting and problematic in the industry. And I think it's a particular problem when you have a Madagascar ruby that is magnificent and sells for 10 times less than a Burma ruby just because of an origin report. So there's my pitch to consider something more sophisticated than the origin report. Well, 10 years later, I spoke in Brazil, and I spoke on 10 trends that were happening in the jewelry industry. And then in 2007, I spoke in Dubai at the Congress on 6 opportunities, challenges and opportunities in the industry. But in 2007, you had me every 10 years. You missed me 2 years ago, but you got me here in 2019. And in 2019, I only have one message. And the message is that man-made diamonds are stealing the diamond dream. And they're stealing market share from the natural diamond industry. And you might ask, what does this have to do with the colored stone industry? I think it has everything to do with the colored stone industry because, just stay with me, because I'm going to suggest today that you steal the diamond dream from the man-made diamond industry, which is having a huge impact, at least in America. I can speak from America, but we just heard earlier that China is dealing with man-made diamonds in perhaps even a more prolific way. So man-made diamonds are becoming a replacement product for natural diamonds, whereas colored gemstones have always been an alternative or a supplemental product or a competitive product to diamond. I'm suggesting you don't try to compete with diamonds because it's very difficult to do that. But I am suggesting you try to compete with man-made diamonds that are having a huge impact. It is a disruptor. It's the Uber, if you will, of the industry right now. And it's a huge problem. Now, I also want to say I'm not against man-made diamonds. I think they have a position in the industry. If people want to buy them, that's great. I don't like the way that some of them are stressed about eco-friendly and green and catching up with all of this sort of hype you hear in the industry. Be very careful about that. What's the problem? The colored stone industry, with all due respect now, because I love colored stones and I'm a colored stone guy and I taught colored stones for many years at GIA and I've been to all these congresses, so I know and I love your product. But with all due respect, I think the industry is largely unaware of how they can compete effectively. There are millions of new brides every year. I'm going to reflect on a slide deck that Joe Menzies sent to Prita and sent to all of us who are speakers. And it was a great presentation about how the Colorstone industry should promote and grow and develop in marketing and positioning itself in the industry. One of the slides was quoting a Bain study that said that 10% of brides today have a colored gemstone on their finger. I don't know about you folks. How many people have a colored stone as an engagement ring? Raise your hands. How many of you women? A few. But you're in the gemstone industry. You're not in the public sector. I only know 2 women that have one. Only 2 in my whole circle of influence. Why? That's the question I'm asking today. Man-made diamonds are a race to the bottom. Man-made diamonds are going to be overproduced. Man-made diamonds are going to have the same kind of impact that synthetic gem materials have had on themselves, if you will. There's no control of the production. Maybe they'll organize, maybe they'll figure it out, but I just don't see the fact that it's going to be a product that can be controlled from a pricing standpoint. And as I say here, overproduction will ultimately kill the price if De Beers doesn't kill it sooner with this new Lightbox program. What happened to De Beers? Let's reflect back. De Beers made it possible for diamond producers to steal market share and reduce its monopoly control. When I got into the industry in the mid-70s, they controlled 80% of the market. Today, if they're lucky, they control 35% of the market. What happened? Over those years, even when I met with De Beers over many years, I couldn't understand the focus that they had on supply control. They were not market-driven, and all that changed in the year 2000 with supplier of choice, their experiment on the millennial diamond. They've studied and they've taken a lot of chances, risks, supplier of choice. Now fast forward, it's 2019. Where are they? De Beers has tremendous investment today in their new brand, of course, Forevermark. But where are they now? I also think that they allowed man-made diamonds to engage in market creep, to steal even more of the market share. And now they're in the synthetic or man-made diamond business. So the introduction of De Beers Lightbox program attempts to discredit, or shall we say at least reposition, lab-grown diamonds by introducing man-mades as an inexpensive fashion jewelry item. I don't know if you've read it, just on the plane over, reading about Bloomingdale's and Reed's jewelers on the East Coast in America are going to be selling Lightbox diamonds. Again, why am I emphasizing this point about man-mades? Because there's an opportunity for the Colorstone industry. Listen to me carefully. In effect, De Beers is trying to save the diamond dream, maybe even position itself in man-made diamonds for the future. We don't know. We'll see. What's happening today? Man-made diamonds are riding on the coattails of the natural diamond industry. They're a huge threat to the natural diamond industry, and they are a replacement product at a lower price. I work with a lot of American retailers. You can't believe how they're selling man-made diamonds. And why are they selling man-made diamonds today? They can make a better margin because the efficiency of the natural diamond industry is such that they can make 20, 30, 40% margin on a natural diamond. I'm talking 1 carat, 2 carat. As you grow in size, even less of a percentage. But in the man-made market, they're making a bigger percentage, and that's why they're selling it. I think it's a real catastrophe waiting to happen. Why are so many jewelers doing it? Less expensive, look the same, identical products. They're being promoted. They're in demand by many millennials, and they yield higher margins. The opportunity. The growth of the man-made diamond industry as a replacement product for natural diamond is a unique opportunity for the colored stone industry, especially for rubies and sapphires. Especially for rubies and sapphires, and not just blue and red. I'm talking multicolors. Which is more lasting, I ask you, and enduring, and romantic, and valuable as a product. A fine quality 2-carat ruby or sapphire or a 2-carat man-made diamond. Today you can go into Robbins Brothers or any of these jewelers and you can buy a 2-carat man-made diamond. And you'll buy it for $10,000, let's say. What is that diamond going to be worth 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years from now? What's going to happen to that jeweler that's selling that product? I pose the question because I'm concerned. But it's an opportunity for the colored stone industry. We don't talk about love and history and tradition and lore in colored stones. There is no colored stone dream in the major consumer markets. Probably the closest thing is in Asia, where you have the Chinese that love jade. There's a historical, cultural phenomenon, but that doesn't do a whole lot of good in America, the biggest consumer market in the world. Why do people buy diamonds? Well, let's see. They're beautiful, they're enduring, they represent love and commitment, and they're perceived as valuable, and they hold value. Now, not in small products. I would not want to be a Melly dealer today, would you? Because those parcels are being salted, they're being tested, of course. But what's the real problem with a 2-pointer that's a man-made diamond as opposed to a natural diamond? Because when somebody tries to sell that piece, nobody offers them anything for the Melly anyway. They only offer gold scrap price. So there's a big concern for the diamond industry. So the question I ask is, don't colored stones hold those same values that natural diamonds hold? Of course they do. In fact, many of us love colored stones much more than we love diamonds. The marketing myth. This morning we heard about 12 myths in the luxury sector. Diamonds as a unique gift of love is a myth created and sustained by good marketing that lives on history and relatively young tradition, post-World War II, to dominate the minds and the pocketbooks of men and women. It's a marketing myth created by tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars over many, many decades. Here's what the man-made diamond industry is doing. Since the diamond dream is a man-made myth, why shouldn't the product people buy be man-made? Think about that. The colored stone industry has a great answer to this problem. It has a natural species called corundum, with a hardness of 9, and with great toughness, producing endlessly beautiful colors, which is almost never promoted as an engagement ring. Walk into the average jewelry store in America today, you will not see engagement rings with rubies and sapphires mounted today. It's a problem. It's an opportunity. By the way, plug on the FTC. Don't let the FTC do to natural colored gemstones what they did to diamonds by taking the word natural out of the definition of a diamond. Huge, huge problem. And what if they did that to your product? Think about it. The value of colored stones. The thing I love about colored gemstones is that they live and die on scarcity. And we heard today that, yeah, it's harder and harder to source. Okay, I get that. But it's why their price per carat increases as size and quality increase. Fine rubies and sapphires will fulfill, in my opinion, much more of the diamond dream better than man-made diamonds ever could. They're lasting and beautiful. They'll hold their value. And value does make a difference in the minds of people. And they're certainly more emotional because they're natural. I think we've lost the love. We've lost the romance. And as much as we have taught over decades about colored gemstones, most people behind the counter today still don't understand and appreciate fine gemstones, where education and training comes in. I find training hugely lacking in most retail stores today. I try to plead with owners to lead your staff, to excite them, get them hyped up. Nothing is more important than a sale every day. Nothing happens in a store until a sale is made. What should the industry do? If I was a jewelry retailer today, I would mount fine rubies and sapphires in engagement ring settings. As a matter of fact, if I was one of you, as a sorcerer and as a manufacturer of goods, I would create and manufacture a bridal line of fine colors of corundum. Somebody is going to do that. One of you. I don't know which one. But somebody is going to do that and have an impact. Because there's an opportunity not to replace natural diamonds. There's an opportunity to replace man-made diamonds with rubies and fine sapphires. As I mentioned, I work a lot with retailers. Retailers need to have it in stock, and they need to show it in order to make a sale. Not every woman will desire a ruby or sapphire engagement ring, but I guarantee more will if we mount them up and we put them in the showcase. So who out there is going to be bold enough and brave enough and innovative enough to think through how they can take this idea and make an impact with ruby and sapphire? There are so many millions of women that get married every year, and they want a diamond. Hey, my wife wanted a diamond too. And guess what? I gave it to her. But what's wrong with a beautiful colored stone that will hold its value, be magnificent, set a trend, create interest, educate, have history and lore behind it the way ruby and sapphire does? So let me summarize. The colored stone industry could never really compete effectively with the natural diamond industry. But the colored stone industry can and should try to compete with the man-made diamond industry. Their product is a cheaper replacement, and again, they have a place in the industry. I'm not knocking the product. What I'm knocking is the concern I have about the value of the product over a longer-term period. And it's a race to the bottom, in my opinion, whereas fine ruby and sapphire is a race to the top. They'll always be worth something special. But it's not just the value in dollars and cents. It's the value in emotion. It's the value in knowing you have a natural product. It's the value in knowing that there's history and tradition and beauty and lore around that product. That's what the colored stone industry needs to do. And finally, our product is endlessly beautiful, has multiple colors, and is a magnificent product. So what do I say, folks? I say, let's sell more color. Thank you.